is up for the go-getters, the ambitionless, the pissed, they should know better. No debtor we owe.
What's going on, everyone? My name's Upset, otherwise known as Mr. Cabano, and today I'm going to be talking about something that kind of inspired me by my friend JellyTurtle66. Actually, he was talking about a video, or in his video he was talking about, you know, positives and negatives, and I kind of touched on this subject back in the day, around 200 subscribers for me, you know, and like 10 people watched it or something like that. So I have the right to redo the commentary to show you guys my 2 cents of positives and negatives, and he did a very good analogy on positives and negatives. I'm probably going to use it as well, so Jelly Turtle, give me permission. Oh, too late. I already did it. Whatever. So anyways, guys, so let's get started in the commentary. So what he was talking about is, you know, positives and negatives. Well, here's my 2 cents on it, guys. Your positives and your negatives need to stay separated. You know, they don't ever combine and they don't ever mix or anything like that. They stay separated. Now, the only time they do come together is when you're using them for the good. For example, if you use the positives for the bad, bam, you just turn it into a negative. If you use a negative for the good, bam, right into the positives. That's the only time you guys can combine the two. But other than that, guys, keep your positives and negatives separated for one reason. Keep it organized in a way. Anyways, so he was explaining how your tower of positives is a building. So imagine the Empire State Building, or imagine a very tall building in your area. Now think of a piece of pencil, like a pencil. Think of that as a negative. Okay, so if you think of a big building as your positives, huge building, let's just say about 100 floors, right? So about, you know, 100, I don't know how big 100 floors is. What is that, 100 feet? So imagine a huge ass building. Let's just go to your downtown area. Huge ass building in your downtown area, and then compare it to a pencil. That's how much a negative is towards your positives. Your positives are 20,000 times much more in meaning than your negatives, guys. If you throw the pencil into that building, it's not going to do anything. That negatives, bam, shattered right there, correct? But it's your choice, guys, to determine how big that pencil is. If you're going to make a big deal out of that negative, that pencil gets bigger and thicker and wider in size, and next thing you know, once that hits the building, bam, your building's crashed down. It's your choice, guys, to determine how much you think of your negatives. And I say, don't even think about your negatives. Don't even worry about your negatives. The only time you do need to worry about your negatives is when you use them for the good. For example, you turn into momentum. This guy doesn't like my videos. You know what? Let's prove him wrong, and I'll show him that my videos are great. And then if he does enjoy them, bam, I just turn a negative into a positive. Like I just said in the beginning of the commentary. You guys gotta understand that your negatives and your positives are 2 different things, and each mean but much different than the other. So, like I was saying, guys, your negative and your positive don't balance each other out. If you got one positive and you got one negative, it depends on what you do with the negative. That positive is going to be huge. That one positive, doesn't matter how many positives, that one positive is going to be huge. And the more positives you get, the bigger and the bigger it gets. But that one negative depends on you guys. The one negative is all about your choice. It depends how big you make it. If you make a big deal out of it, that big pencil will smash right into your tower of positives and crash the tower down. But if you make that negative very small, that very small thin pencil can even make a little scratch in the window of your tower, guys. And it's all up to you. It's all up to you about your negatives. If you turn your negatives into positives at the least, you will have a fantastic building, very well thrived in economy, and the money will be thriving correctly, and the socializing, everything will be great in your tower. You know, the tower will be running 100% normal, having fun, enthusiastic. But if you let that one pencil grow to be very big, your tower is gonna die. And you guys don't want your positives to die, because if your positives die, your self-esteem goes boom, straight down, guys. You guys can't let that happen. Your self-esteem has to be high. You guys have to be humble. Now, don't be like, I'm a fucking motherfucking beast, guys. You guys want more? Oh, you got no. Don't be like that, okay? I don't know why I did that voice. That was kind of weird. But don't be like, you know, super show off and stuff. But be humble, guys. Be enthusiastic and be who you are. No, don't let those don't let those negatives bother you guys. Don't let them. Those negatives are nothing, absolutely nothing compared to those positives. I'm telling you guys, your one negative is gonna not ever should be hitting your positive tower down. It should never crush it down. It should never ever. Why? Because if it does, you're gonna fall apart and your self-esteem is gonna go straight down. Like I said, you guys gotta keep those positives high. Keep those positives enthusiastic, happy. You know, if someone says you have a great smile, take that to heart. Take that to heart. But if someone says I hate your smile, don't take it to heart, guys. You know why? Because sometimes when those people give you a negative, they're probably jealous. They're 100% probably jealous. And so, you know, you just got to shake it off and have a short memory when it comes to those negatives. But when the positives come, have a long-term memory, you know? Hell with it. If someone actually takes the time out of their day to say nice things, it actually means something, because it is much easier to be mean than it is nice. So if you're nice, it means much more than if you're mean. You guys kind of see where I'm saying? And so that's my little 2 cents on, you know, negatives and positives. And like I said, guys, they don't balance each other out. One positive, one negative don't balance each other out. It's always the positive that weighs much more on the pedestal than the negative. You know, if the negative weighs much more, your self-esteem is going to go straight down. And I don't want that. I want you guys to be happy, enthusiastic, and, you know, humble. So all I ask you guys is to, those negatives that some people do give you, hey, shake them off. But the positives that they do give you, you know, great smile, great hair, you know, they compliment you on something, take those to heart. Actually be happy about those, and don't let the negative come in and break your tower down. So anyways, guys, I'm Upset Cuban. I hope you guys like this video. If you guys can smack it, you guys know I love it. Anyways, I'm done, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.
Yeah, some days I feel unfazed, like when I'm with my friends with a cut raised. Come Monday, I got a gun raised, suicidal, do or die until hump day. Then I go right back at it like an automatic. More drinks, more songs, more beats to rap. I need a shrink, I'm gone, more time keeps